This video confirms how Africa's dream for prosperity and competitiveness is unstoppable if investment is prioritized. For a very long time, Africa has been punching below its weight in terms of entrepreneurship if compared with the Western, European, Asian, and other civilizations. Today, I take the opportunity of communicating the progress, achievements, challenges, and solutions regarding some of the entrepreneurial activities in Africa. What do they mean to the common man, and how does he or she benefit from these initiatives? If you enjoy this video, kindly subscribe and give it a like. Your comments on the issues raised and what more you would like us to touch in our next presentations will be highly appreciated. First is the Aliko Dangote oil refinery in Nigeria. Before now, Nigeria was in a paradox, being one of the world's producers and exporters of crude oil, and yet one of the biggest importers of oil products. Trillions of Naira was spent every year in subsidy claims for oil marketers. But now, Aliko Dangote's integrated oil refinery project, the pioneer refinery, will resolve this paradox with its longest refinery in the world.
Our products will satisfy the local demand of Nigeria, and it will satisfy the local demand of most West African countries, and we'll be able to export even Central Africa, Angola, Congo, Brazzaville, and Co. So, it's a very huge capacity. 40% of our production will be for export.
For decades, Nigeria exported its crude oil only to import the more expensive refined product back.
Next is the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. The primary purpose of the dam is electricity production to relieve Ethiopia's acute energy shortage and for the electricity export to neighboring countries. With a projected installed capacity of more than 5 gigawatts, the dam will be the largest hydroelectric power plant in Africa when completed, as well as among the 20 largest in the world. Due to the coup d'etat of 1974 and following 17-year-long Ethiopian civil war, however, the project failed to progress. On the 20th of February 2022, the dam produced electricity for the first time, delivering to it the grid at a rate of 375 megawatts. A second 375 megawatts turbine was commissioned in August 2022. The potential impacts of the dam have been the source of severe regional controversy. The government of Egypt, a country which depends on the Nile about 97% of its irrigation and drinking water, demanded that Ethiopia cease its construction of the dam as a precondition for negotiation, has sought regional support for its position, and some political leaders have discussed methods to sabotage it. The other neighboring countries are in support of the project. In recent years, due to the threat of possible airstrike on the dam, the Ethiopian government has sought and bought several air defense systems from Russia and from Israel. This shows how deep the conflict is entrenched. Negotiations are ongoing to ensure that the disputes are settled. As of 2023 April, the good news is that Ethiopia's Office of National Coordination announced that 90% of the constructions have been completed. The insane housing project owned by Paul Kagame in Rwanda. Over the years, Rwanda started initiatives intended to boost the nation's economy, to accelerate revenue generation, and improve the lives and welfare of its citizens. Rwanda has experienced rapid population growth, but the existing mechanisms and processes are not able to cope with the demand for houses and other emerging challenges. The demand for housing in Kigali is likely to reach up to 345,000 units, or an average of up to 32,000 units per year. This is not aligned with the current annual supply of 1,000 units resulting into an annual deficit of about 30,000 units. By implication, if the shortage is not addressed, the situation is likely to worsen, leading to other related problems. To address the issue, the Rwandan government has recently decided to provide affordable housing through a number of housing projects. The new construction project of Namamve Industrial Park in Uganda. This project is funded by the government of Uganda, contributing to Uganda's industrial development, leading to job creation. The primary infrastructure that needs to be built includes bridges, traffic management systems, tarmac roads, solar energy, water distribution infrastructure, networks. The project is estimated to create about 25,000 direct jobs in the construction phase, close to 40,000 direct jobs in the short term, and over 200,000 jobs once the industrial park is fully operational. It is planned to take approximately 3.5 years, with a warranty period of 12 months per contractor and 24 months for the owner's engineers. These are some of the challenges in addition to what have been mentioned. The biggest is foreign intervention, which, apart from igniting and fueling conflict, actually goes to the extent of destroying the infrastructure that our people worked very hard to build. An example is the destruction of the water project in Libya that was providing water to the entire country. Perpetrators and implementers of such destructions must be reprimanded and dealt with in the strongest terms. Gaddafi's most ambitious infrastructure project of the great man-made river was turning the desert into life, bread, and basket for Libya. The $3 billion project had been funded by the government of Libya, interest-free and no foreign debt. It had been put in the World Guinness Book of Records as the world's largest irrigation system. But the Western media reluctantly shared news of the project, even though all other irrigation projects were on the tail end in comparison. In 2011, NATO forces attacked Libya under the guise of humanitarian intervention, bombed this infrastructure, destroyed the pipeline, and finished off the factory that was producing the pipes to repair it. Such kind of animosity must never be tolerated again. NATO must repair all the damages they inflicted on Libya and its people. Then we have trade barriers, many of these attacked by Mr. Dangote in his speech about a number of issues relating to trade in Africa.
Really, we are a dumping ground in Africa, and what I keep saying, because we have not really industrialized, we are only exporting raw materials. So what is happening is that people are actually what's going on is that we're importing poverty and exporting jobs
out. Yes. So it's a mathematical equation that will never make us.
We'll never make it, yes. We're saying that, yes, we're going to grow. I mean, you take a country like Nigeria, we're saying that, yes, by 2050, Nigeria will be number 3 in terms of population in the world.
Yeah, young people, yeah.
Young people. But then, how many things are we producing in Africa, believing in our own this? Because there's nobody. Americans will not come, or Japanese or whatever, to come and develop our own economy. So we have to do it. So our major job is that we are the drivers, whether good or bad. And if you look at most of the 14 African countries where we are, where they have limestone, we went and debottleneck their cement issues. Let me give you an example. When we went to Zambia, we couldn't even have cement to build a factory. It was very difficult. We went to Ethiopia. I mean, today, if we shut down our factory in Ethiopia, they will run into trouble because the foreigners have no interest in increasing the capacity. They have interest in making more money on a smaller supply.
Yeah.
So really, not only me, other Africans, we must get together, we must assist each other, we must go to banks like African Bank and show them what we have so that we can fully industrialize Africa and make sure the AFCTA works. What I keep saying is that yes, AFCTA is the greatest idea. It will help to grow all our economies. It will create massive amount of jobs. Most of these youth that we have that are littering around, they will be able to have jobs. But we have to cooperate. We have to make sure that things move. I don't want to now be in a position where where I used to be, because right now I have the African passport. But the African Union passport allows you to move around, even though there are about 2-3 countries that are not allowing, they are not agreeing up to now. I don't know why. But you see, if I have to get a visa to get into country A as an African, and now we go with a British guy who, or maybe a Nigerian, it has happened to me, a Nigerian holding British passport, he was allowed in, and we're arguing, debating about my visa. And I'm the one, and I'm the one with the money.
Can you imagine?
Yes.
Can you imagine?
So I think what maybe African countries they need to do is that why don't you give Africans visa on arrival? That will facilitate trade.
Yes.
If you are making life difficult for me, there's no way I'll go and invest.
Other main roles that Africa must play to make sure that it has a conducive and progressive investment fabric will be touched in the future videos. In conclusion, although Africa is experiencing tough times even now, facing uncertainty almost everywhere, with more efforts, we shall overcome all the seasons of crisis. Let's together make Africa great. If you have enjoyed this video, kindly remember to subscribe and give it a like. In addition, your comments on the issues raised and what more you would like us to touch on in our next presentations will be highly appreciated. Until next time, God bless you.